And Sarah, welcome to Nova Scribes. Over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. So, my name is Sarah Filman. I use the tools of improv and play to help leaders and teams facilitate skill development around hard conversations, effective collaboration, and building authentic confidence. And I will say, kind of invited by what we just heard, play is kind of countercultural, right? Like I think that actually it is status quo busting, and it can be it's not very typical in a lot of spaces. But the surprising thing is that play is fun and effective, and it can be a catalyst for connection, embracing change, and a fuel for really important work. So I'm really excited to be here and help us bridge that work play divide that exists in so many professional spaces. And as Brian mentioned earlier, so last year, to support facilitators and leaders alike to bring play into spaces they work in, I developed kind of a play at work toolkit. It's a set of 52 cards and a leader guidebook. Oops, here they are. And as a way to bring play accessibly into spaces. So tonight we're going to experience a variety of these activities, and you are so encouraged to take them, make them your own, figure out how they might work for the teams and groups that you support. And I'll say you don't even have to take notes. I have a document I'll share at the end with descriptions of all the activities that we do today so that you can just be present, because that is really my goal for us today. First one is just to play and be present as yourselves. We're going to experience a handful of activities. I do encourage cameras to be on if that's available to you. There will be breakout rooms. So here's a heads up in case people are breakout room shy. In order to get real play time, I will be asking Brian to send us into some breakout rooms. One of the activities uses drawing. So if you have like a scrap piece of paper, a piece of printer paper, and a pen, that will be great. And we will use that in a few activities. So playing is how we're going to spend the majority of the hour. But I also know that you are all practitioners. And so I also want you to have an opportunity to plan. So at the end, I'll give some time for thinking about, like, to put back on your facilitator, meeting leader hat and think about what is the role of play in your facilitation? What do you want it to be? What do you hope it will be? If that sounds good, I will look for one or two thumbs in the general up direction. Awesome. So today's theme, a loose theme, is Day at the Museum. So all of our activities today are going to kind of fit loosely into that theme. So if you would get your typing fingers into the chat, if you could work at any type of museum, and I will say aquariums count, what type of museum would you like to work for? Or just visit? I like to think of an aquarium as a museum of living fish. Rebecca, visionary art. Ooh, one where things come to life. Wendy, I have been to the Baltimore Aquarium. It was spectacular. History art. Okay, so we've got some marine lovers, natural history. Yes, art. Oh, Marietta at the Museum of Broken Relationships. I'm gonna have to look that one up after. Amazing. So taking kind of this Zoom window as inspiration, there's actually something called, we are in probably gallery view, right? And what are many museums but galleries of people, of galleries of things? So I'm going to invite us, if you are able to come onto your video, that's great. But I'm going to play some music for really just a minute. And because we're kind of a pop-up playful team for the next 45 minutes, I want us to take a moment to actually look at the different squares or read the names that are there. Look up at your camera and give an opportunity for your eyes to be met. Give a smile, give a wave. So we're just going to do that to get kind of settled in and grounded in this Zoom space. I'm going to play some fun music.
There we are.
Good choice.
All right. I
Michael.
feel like we have a sense of who's in the room, who's in our ensemble this evening. All right. So right now we are a gallery of human faces, but what we're going to do is we're going to gather a gallery of objects.
Hmm.
So I'm going to say a category. I'm going to say invite everybody to grab something that is blank. And then I'm going to give you 10 seconds to find something relatively within reach to grab that thing, and we'll show it. Any questions before we start with our first prompt? Okay. I'm going to invite you to grab something that has history. That has history. In 10, 9, oh, I gotta leave. 6, 5, 4,
Ooh.
3, 2. Did we get everybody back? Got movie. Vicky, nice. Vicky, what are you holding?
This is a small pouch from a chocolatier that I went to in Paris, France, during the Paris Summer Olympics. I'm a travel agent part time, and I organized and hosted and led a trip. I took 7 women with me to Paris, France, in summer 2024 for the Paris Olympics. So at the famous mall that's located at the Le Louvre Museum, at the underneath the underground, for lack of better words, of the Le Louvre Museum, where the Mona Lisa is a full mall underground. And there's a chocolatier in that mall called Maxims of Paris. So in this bag from all the way from Paris came chocolates from Maxims, one of the best chocolatiers in the world. So going to Paris during the Olympics was just an iconic experience. So this bag represents that trip.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, what else is in our gallery? Let's get it up. Marietta, tell me the story of those bells.
I have no idea because I'm just a guest in this location, but they look old.
Thank you. All right. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pass the baton to Rebecca. And Rebecca, you now get to invite everybody to grab something that is blank, right? It could be an adjective like grab something that's pink. It could be something like grab something that brings you joy. Anything that is descriptive that we can go hunting for. Will you take me up on that? May I pass the baton to you?
Yes. Let's all grab something round.
Something that's round.
I have this sitting right here,
I see a theme.
but I'm actually going to go with, it's going to talk.
Ooh.
Brian, I grabbed this first.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there are
May
a
have
couple
seen those
lizard
before. Wait a minute.
brain.
There we go.
Now, Rebecca, does anybody's object in this gallery of round things intrigue you, and you want to ask a little more about it?
Money. I can't see everybody's things. I have to hold them up. Oh, Julie, what is that?
This is actually a coaster, so it's flat and round. But for when we lived in Denver, we were surrounded by a lot of those paint your own ceramic places. And my daughter and I made these coasters. We used to go every year on my birthday, we would go to make your own ceramics and do the things. But many, many years later, I still use this.
Amazing.
Oh, I love that.
That's really cool.
Michael, I am curious, do you have an object?
Closest thing I have to something round besides my head is going to be this,
It's going to be what?
this light bulb next to me.
The out of frame light bulb?
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Rebecca, why don't you pass the baton for one more round to somebody to get a new category.
Okay, Rachel.
Let's all grab something inspiring.
Something that
Mm.
inspires us. Something that
Yeah.
inspires us.
Oh, cool, Tara.
Ooh, I have to find something.
Rachel, when
I
you're
love Vicky's orange.
Orange,
Rachel, when
orange
you're
is inspiring.
I'm on my
nice.
I'm on my phone, so you're getting a tour of my house every time I go find something.
Rachel, if something piques your
A book's
curiosity
okay.
in this Insta
Pull something.
gallery, you can inquire about it.
I am curious what Julie is holding.
Julie's got the good objects.
I know. Well, this is actually a microscope. It's a
Wow.
little handheld microscope. You can hook it up to your phone and see. I think it magnifies up to like 800 times, which
Wow.
is plenty to see the little teeny boogans that are in our aquariums. And it just fascinates me. And it makes me think about like the tiny worlds that we're not even aware of. And certainly there are tiny things that this doesn't even pick up. So we get so excited when we see something we haven't seen before. So this is my inspiration is the tiny and even tinier.
I like that. Um,
Jerome
What
was
is-
holding a book. I was sorry to jump ahead of you, Rachel,
Yeah.
but I was curious about Jerome. You had a book that you said that looked like inspired you.
Yeah, it's called, can you see it all right? It's called
Yes.
Your Brain on Art.
Your Brain on Art.
Yeah, it's about art and how it affects different parts of your brain and our work, and not just as, decoration or entertainment, but it actually affects different parts of your brain depending on what you're working on and so forth. It's hard for me to describe. I'm just reading it, so I
Yeah.
can't. I'm not good at being concise anyway, but it's right where I'm at right now. It's really kind of perspective of developing your brain through art is different than I've seen art, usually art history or what the art's about. This is more about how it physiologically affecting you. So
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, and Julie, it sounds like you've gone deep on that book as well. Amazing. All right. We're going to put our gallery of objects aside. Feel free to throw into the chat a word or an emoji of just how that activity made you feel. We're going to do like a light touch on the debrief for this one, but Brian had fun. I loved hearing the stories, the unexpected things. Yeah, fun and relaxing. And from a facilitator's point of view, right, you can go as deep as you want to, right? I've done this activity where you do ask people for stories, or you can keep it fast paced and use it more as an energizer to grab items. So if it's helpful, I'll keep giving these like facilitator notes on these activities as well. All right, so we're moving past the different galleries, the gallery of all things round, inspiring, and historical. And we're going to send you into a breakout room. So Brian, if you don't mind curating groups of 3, we're going to imagine that opening up down the street is a museum of you. And so when you get into your breakout room, you're going to introduce yourself to your partner, let them know where in the world you are, and then tell them about the museum of you. So what might this look like? And I'm going to throw some prompts into the chat. What would be some of the permanent collections at a museum of you? What are some of the rotating exhibits, right? Like what's maybe an exhibit that's upcoming in the next quarter or the next year, right? There's no budget on this. Whimsy is welcome. In my museum, there's definitely a swimming pool. So feel free to take creative liberties with what a museum is and what it looks like. I'm going to give you about, let's say 6 minutes, Brian. So it's going to be brief, right? So if you're in a group of 3, it'll be about 2 minutes to explore. If there's time left, you can be curious, ask someone to give you more of a tour of the museum. Any
Okay.
questions before you head out into breakout rooms?
All right, here we
I think
go.
we're ready. Wonderful. I feel like that room could go on for so much longer, right? So as a facilitation note, like this type of prompt can take up kind of as much space as you give it. But I'm curious if 1 or 2 folks are willing to share kind of their experience of it. You can tell us a bit about your museum, but also just kind of your experience of hearing about other people's museums and like the creative, playful aspect of it.
If I could go, I would say it required to be retrospective. You know, it was much describing your life like the museum is so much simpler than, I'm sorry, more complex than asking what's your favorite food or favorite destination. But like to really analyze, you had to analyze your life. Like, wow, because I was saying to myself, gee, what if my museum sounds too boring or too, I don't know. So I think you really had to, I'll admit, I wanted to make sure it was interesting enough, you know, so people actually want to visit the museum. Although it's not a real museum, I'm like, gee, this is my life and people are coming to my museum. So I had to think hard, like what exhibits are authentic to me, but yet would still want people to come and visit the museum.
Yeah, thank you, Vicky, for like that kind of meta analysis of like, here's what I was thinking about. Here's what's running through my mind, right? In terms of like the analysis for it. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else willing to share?
I think it's a good way to find ways that people have things in common that they share, because one person says board games and then everybody else, oh, I should have said that. Yes, me too. I should be in on that. So that was a really good way to kind of bring everybody together.
Yes. Yeah, there was definitely like idea sparking happening. Jerome, I saw you were wanting to share something as well.
When you ask what museum I'm working, I put down aquarium. For one reason, they have this really amazing aquarium here in Atlanta area, which is kind of surprising because it's a landlocked city. You wouldn't think they'd have, but it's really something. And then in the breakout room, what occurred to me was one reason I like it is because the dolphins they have there are so playful. So it's that playfulness that you see, and everything's always moving. You know, I like art. I like going. They have a really high art museum here in Atlanta. Is very good. Good place to go. But the thing about the aquarium, everything's always moving. There's all this color. It's always everything in the depth. So you get the 3-dimensional part of it. You get all the depth in these just gargantuan aquariums, and so you get all that motion, all the depth, and all the color, and everything. It's just shifting all the time. It really that to me, I don't think maybe I get tired of working there, but I don't think so. You know.
Yeah, and Jerome, I feel like I learned a lot about you just by how you described like what stands out to you about that space. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I found it interesting because it's like, yeah, now I want to go and visit all these museums, but at the same time, it was a very interesting thought experiment. It's like taking someone's subjective life and putting it on display to a certain extent through this objective lens. Makes you wonder, like, what kind of things you'd have in your exhibits and all, as Vicky mentioned. At the same time, it's like, yeah, if I was to charge money for this, how much would I get? So, yeah, thank you.
Section. Playing with metaphor is one of my favorite things to play with. And I think it can be a really creative entry for people, right? I think that question of like, well, tell me about yourself. At least for me, it can kind of put me on my heels. It maybe feels like it needs to be professional, but I think this type of activity, people take it very interesting in different places. And so I think you learn as much about how people think as you do about kind of their hobbies or what's important to them as well. So I think it can be a great activity to learn more about what's important to people and what they value. Anyone hoping to say something before we move on? Okay, let's move on. Many people threw into the chat that their favorite, the type of museum they'd want to attend or work at, is an art museum. And this is, visual practitioners. So let's get that piece of paper and ideally a pen or a marker that like we could see what you drew when you hold it up. Now, I'm not going to put pressure on us to draw a whole scene, but we're going to co-create a scene together. So I'm going to give a scene idea, and your task is to draw just one object in that scene. Once we're done, we're going to hold up our objects. They're going to make basically a quilt and turn it into one collective scene painting. So, right, the sky has many stars, so don't worry about being unique or clever or different unless that's something that feels playful to you. But if you're feeling pressure or any perfectionism sneaking in, here's your permission slip to let that go. Okay, so I will throw out our first scene idea. Is everybody ready? Does everybody have a piece of paper, pen? Okay, our first scene is a city. So you're drawing just one object, not a whole city, just one object in a city. And I'll play some music because it's fun. Is that coming through? All right, I'm going to go ahead and say 5 more seconds. All right. And if you are able to come on screen and hold up our cityscape.
Oh, okay, cool.
And Jerome, yours may, because you have blur on, it may disappear.
There.
Same with you, Julie.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh. Thank you, Rachel.
Let me turn that off.
We've got a shop and a light post. Tree. Oh, thanks, Akshat.
Yeah, Ox is in chat if you can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, Vicky, let's get yours up there.
It's a terrible drawing. It's just supposed to be like a cup of coffee or tea.
Clearly a cup of coffee or tea.
No, it's not. It's a hot
so
mess.
obvious.
It's a hot mess.
Yeah.
It's a lazy doodle. Hot mess.
All right. And we'll put this scene down. We'll do a second scene of a party that you would specifically love to be at. A party that you would specifically love to be at. One object at a party you'd specifically love to be at. Right, here comes the music. You've got 1 minute. Was there a question?
One object at a party?
Just one object. Yeah, just like we just did. Yeah, just pick one object, not the whole party.
Oh, painting the glass.
Do 10 more seconds. Sharpie is very strong. All All right, folks, let's see him.
Nice, Rebecca.
Monikers game. Wendy, that's a like a board game you love?
Yeah, it's like fishbowl, but they like put it into cards, and it's like quite fun. And it's a party game, so you can play with a large group of people.
Awesome. Brian, a trampoline. Did I get that right?
You got
A
it.
crochet. Was that Julia? Crochet?
Chocolate covered strawberries.
I've always wanted to go to a quilting bee, but I don't know how to quilt. But I do know how to crochet, so I'm picturing a bunch of people crocheting together.
Amazing. And Vicky, is that a chocolate covered strawberry?
Yeah, it's a chocolate covered strawberry. I'm hoping to host or go to a Valentine's event next month for women with wine and chocolate, and want to have chocolate covered strawberries at the event.
Oh yeah. Jerome, what do you got there? It's a little far away.
It's a water. It's a water. Wait. It's a water pitcher.
Staying hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated at the party.
Yes.
Always. Being dehydrated at a party is absolutely no fun.
Yeah.
Marietta, what do you got?
Yeah.
A tree again, so in the woods.
Oh, sense of theme. Rebecca. Oh, champagne. It has the label right there. No explanation needed. And Akshat, you've got, is that a piñata?
Yeah, that's right. It's a piñata with a little too long tail. Yet it defies gravity, so yeah.
Sarah, what is yours?
Oh, it's a pool. Unfortunately, my car is like bleeding through, but you've got the a pool party. Being in the pool, yeah. Amazing. I would love to pass the baton to somebody. Does anybody have an idea for a scenescape they would like this group to create? Something that has a lot of different objects in it that we could play with.
How about something you never leave the house without?
Something you never leave the house without. Yeah. All right. So this is basically a scenescape of like stuff in your pockets or back.
Your pockets. Yeah.
This is the inside of a pocket. All right, here we go. Here's your 10-second countdown. All right, here we go. How many chapsticks do we got? Okay, so Brian, what flavor is your chapstick?
Original.
Yeah, mine's unflavored as well.
Oh, I missed the sign here.
Oh, we got a key, a water bottle. Wendy, what is that?
Lactate.
Lactate pills?
Recently committed.
Vicky, we've got a pen. We've got lip balm. Jerome, is that a pair of feet?
Yeah, I never leave without my feet. Because I can forget everything else, but I never leave without my feet because then I can't go anywhere.
That is both very philosophical and practical. I love that.
Yeah, you have stickers on your water. Is that a water bottle with stickers on it? I love the stickers.
You don't need your feet to leave the house.
And Mariette, is that a Sharpie?
Yeah, pen. It's just a pen, any kind of pen.
Any kind of pen. And then actually we've got the Swiss Army knife. Beautiful. Yay, thanks for taking a picture, Brian. So I call that activity the quick quilt. And whether or not you know how to quilt in real life, Go to a quilting bee. We just were at a quilting bee, really, if you think about it. I'm curious if, throw in the chat, or we're a small group, you can say out loud, how did that activity make you feel? Or what did you notice, or what came up?
I laughed out loud. I was giggling. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
What did you find most fun about it, Rebecca?
Like when more than one person had chapstick. I like that very much.
Yeah.
And Jerome's a hoot.
Yeah, one chapstick for the left pocket, one for the right, 2 feet, you're ready to go.
Don't leave home without it.
It's low barrier, like sharing, and like everyone feels, like everyone's invited. It's we used to do these things called ESR. It's like, no, ESRs. Every student reacts. Sorry. Like things that every single person reacts to. And so instead of like one at a time, every single person is participating, engaged at the same time, which is really nice. And everyone's participating, which is really nice.
Yeah. I feel like this activity connects really well to the analogy of working on a team, right? Like, we're giving the painting our part. It's through our experience and our lens that we're contributing, and it's a part of the whole. And also, when there are duplicates, it's not a bad thing, right? Like, it's good to know what's in the room. Yeah. And then you saw, like, in the second category of like, what's a party that you want to be at, right? There's an opportunity to make it more personal or make it more general, right? So it could be just like, we're drawing a city, right? That's just general. But it could also be, what's in your pocket? What's a party you want to go to? So depending on the group, you can make it more personal or not. Jerome, was that
interesting about the chapstick? It just occurred to me I haven't used chapstick in like 10 years or something, because where I live, it's not cold climate. It's not cold climate. So it's like something you would automatically take. At times when I lived in Michigan, I did it, a lot more. But it just occurred to me, oh, hey, that's just not something but one reason I picked my feet, because every time I leave the house, I probably forget one thing, I will take my wallet, my keys, and my phone, but everything else, there's always going to be something. So that's why I said my feet, because that's the only thing I wouldn't forget, probably, the rest of my body, but.
Well, and the fact that you haven't used chapstick in 10 years, it's like, yeah, okay. So it's like, now we're realizing we're in different locations and we have like different contexts and environments that we're in, through which we have our thoughts and our opinions. Like, that could be an interesting connection to like naming and understanding the different lenses that we carry through which we contribute to a team or to a project. Great. I think that we can actually stay. I was going to have us go into breakout rooms, but I think we can stay here for this activity. Who here has done some version of a yes and activity before? If you can just give like a finger wiggle, just curious, and it's okay if you haven't. So yes and is in the world of improv and improv comedy, yes and is what's considered like the golden rule. So we're going to play with telling a story as a whole group using that framework to see how that we can build together. Now we're still playing with this loose theme of the museum. So I would love, could somebody just grab one of the objects that they've used in one of the activities and hold it up? All right. So that is Wendy, you're holding a stress ball. Let's call it a stress
lizard
ball.
brain branded
A lizard
volleyball.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Let's call it a stress ball, just for
sorry
for the. So what we are going to do is we are going to tell the story of the made up story of the inventor of the stress ball. So imagine that the stress ball is on display at the museum, and you go up to the plaque and you're like, who invented this thing? What is this thing? So we're going to co-create the story of the inventor of the stress ball. So Brian, do you mind locking the host order so that we're all seeing us
Ooh.
in the same, if that's under the view menu,
Okay.
and there should be something called like show host order
Oh, that
or
is so cool. All right, here we go.
perfect. So I'm seeing Wendy, Brian, myself, Julie, Rebecca. Is everybody seeing that order now? So this is how we're going to simulate kind of being in a circle. So after Akshat goes, it'll go back up to Wendy. And so we're all seeing the same order. So what's going to happen is that we're going to build this story a sentence at a time. Wendy, I'll ask you to start with like make up a person's name to say so-and-so was the inventor of the stress ball. And then Brian will pick up and say, yes, and then fill in the blank and add one sentence. We're just going to learn about this inventor of the stress ball. Any questions? Has stress risen? If so, grab an object to squeeze. Any contribution you make is the right one, and we are going to build with it. But did I hear a noise of a question? No? Okay. All right, Wendy, take it away.
The stress ball was invented in 1904 by Julian Fallenbach.
Mm-hmm.
Turn now.
All right, Brian. Yep.
Okay.
Your turn, Brian. Yep.
And Mr. Fallenbach invented the stress ball when one day he was particularly stressed due to the state of his farm.
I'll say yes. And his farm, it turned out that every night, half of his geese flock were disappearing. And this was very stressful to Julian.
Yes. And so Julian went out to take the count of how many geese he had left. And without realizing it, he had picked up a little gosling and squeezed it because he was so stressed out. This was not a good idea.
On to you, Rebecca.
Yes. And it turns out the gosling survived. The gosling was fine. But he realized that the sensation of squeezing something helped relieve his stress, and it didn't hurt that it was really cute too.
Yes, and that little gosling started a protest movement among the geese.
Jerome.
Yes, and Julian went on to find other materials to squeeze because the gosling pooped on him. And he didn't care for that.
Okay, Vicky.
Julian worked in his laboratory at his home to come up with other materials that would be more appropriate for squeezing. He experimented with solids, polymers, liquids, and he eventually settled on a solid that worked best for him.
Actually.
Yes, and he was thinking of using a carrot, but it caused him more stress since he couldn't julienne it as much as a professional chef.
Wendy, back to you.
Yes, and while he was in his laboratory playing with different materials, he put a lot of goose down into a container, and that's how the goose down comforter was invented.
The end, as we zoom away from the placard on the stress ball.
Okay.
Nice job. Fun story. Let's pop out of the story and think about kind of the experience of doing that story together. What was it like? Stressful, fun, a little bit of both. What'd you notice? See some head nods.
Like the one word story. I used to
went
one word.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Let's go, Wendy. Wendy, Vicky.
You can go, Wendy.
It's like I used to do one word stories when I was a kid growing up, and they were always silly, and I don't think I've done them in a while. And it's fun. It's fun and funny, and it requires you. It feels a little uncomfortable, but it creates something fun in the space.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. What about you, Vicky?
I like how you said that any contribution we make is good. Like you didn't judge us, but even though we were allowed to say anything, I still wanted to make sure it kind of was logical, went along with the storyline. It sounded kind of fun.
Yeah, it's the both andness of it, of like, we want to honor the contributions that have come before, and we want to trust that whatever we contribute is good enough and that we will figure out a way to build with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Vicky.
Yeah, this is my first time doing yes and. I read about it and this first try. I just kind of went blank. I don't know what, something with the rest of the geese, and then I thought, oh, materials. Because I guess I think about materials for things I make. So that's what came up.
Yeah. I think that going blank is very common in this game too, because even if we've made a safe, non-judgmental place, we're still on the spot in a way, right? So I think noticing our reaction to it, trying to be compassionate for ourselves, and then reaching for what we know, which is what you did, Jerome, which is great. Mm-hmm. And yeah, these stories often leave, like, yes, we would probably revisit the Goose Uprising. That would be chapter 2. If we were to continue, we would find ways to put the protest back in the fold. Ideally, we're left wanting more and not feeling like we never want to hear that story again. Any other thoughts? Great. Yeah, and like Wendy shared, like I've done versions of this game where it's one word at a story, one word at a time story, many gooses. Yes, thank you, Brian.
Oh,
the Zoom gooses are Zoom bombing our chat. You can do this a word at a time, a sentence at a time, right? I created, to try to be on theme with the museum. There was a tie-in, but you can also, it can be framed in any way that makes sense. And you can do it in a group like us, up to 10 or more folks, or you could do it just in pairs, right? You can tell a story just in pairs. So it's very flexible in that way in terms of how we facilitate. Great challenge to Brian. Yes. Yeah, Jerome.
I was interested, and Brian said he was stressed out. Julian was stressed out because on his farm. And I was right at then, I was thinking, if I was going to say why he was stressed out, it would have been because he lived in an industrial city. And I think the reason I would have said city is because we were talking about cities, earlier, so it's kind of that kind of, I don't know what you call that mental process, but that kind of overlapped from the previous thing. I would have said stress from the city, not the farm, but the farm can be stressful, no doubt. So, and not that he was wrong, but it just kind of the way I was trying to follow that narrative, the way everybody was taking it. And that's kind of like a choice point. You could have said city or stressed out because of whatever, but so when you say farm, then you go, I guess city, you wouldn't say geese, right? You'd say something else.
Exactly. So each person that the story makes its way through changes the story. And if we're especially like we're 4 or 5 people later, we have to potentially let go of the ideas that we had in order to accept what came before. So there are kind of infinite choice points, and each person that it goes through is making a strong choice for us to accept. So yeah, it's great. It's a great way to practice that. Thanks, Jerome. All right. I don't plan on going more than a few minutes over based on our late start, but we've reached kind of we've been playing, and now is an opportunity to plan. I wanted to give you all a couple minutes to reflect on the questions of, let me throw them in the chat. What goals do you have to bring play or more play into your work? And what ideas or questions did our time together today spark? So I'm going to play some reflective music for just a couple minutes to give you a chance to jot down any thoughts. What I will also do is throw, as I promised, the notes from the games that we did today. So if you head to that, thank you, Brian. If you head to that Google Doc, you'll see the games that we did today, as well as ways to be in touch. So I'm going to play just a couple minutes of music, and then we'll close out together.